Hello everyone, warm greetings, welcome to my class. Today I am going to deal with a poem, and the name of the poem is The Flower-Fed Buffaloes, and the poet is Nicholas Vachel Lindsay. Now let's start from the introduction of the poet. Nicholas Vachel Lindsay was an American poet. He was born in 1879, November 10th, in Springfield, United States. He died in 1931, 5th December, in Springfield, United States. So this poet is considered as a founder of modern singing poetry. So he is the one who brought verses in the poem. The verse is a poetic form with regular meter and a fixed rhyme scheme. The poet gave life to the poetry. So the poetry meant to be in written form before, but he gave a verbal form to the poetry. So in this poetry, we can find the presence of powerful rhythm. So in the poetries of Nicholas Vachel Lindsay, we can find a strong sense of patriotism as well as the romantic appreciation of nature. I have already told that the name of the poem is The Flower-Fed Buffaloes. The title is Flower-Fed Buffaloes and the poet is Nicholas Vachel Lindsay. So it's a poem. So what is meant by poetry actually? The word poetry is originated from a Greek word and the meaning is to make. A poet is thus a maker, and the poem is something that is made or created. So the poet is the creator, whereas the poem is his creation. So in this poem also, Vachel Lindsay, he is the creator, and this poem is his creation. Now let's start. The very first line gives the information about the season. The season is spring. Spring is taken as the best season because the temperature becomes pleasant. This is the time when the people say goodbye to the frigid winter. People's mood also improves in this season. The flowers start blooming. Grass turns green, means the best part of the nature can be seen and felt in the spring season. This is the first thing we come to know from the first sentence, and the next thing is that the flower-fed buffaloes. Here, the word flower-fed is a new term for us. This word flower-fed is alliteration. Now, what means alliteration? Alliteration is the occurrence of the same letter or sound at the beginning of adjacent or closely connected words. It means it is the repetition of the identical initial consonant sound in the words. So the words flower-fed both start with F and the sound is F. So Flower we pronounce as flower and Fed we pronounce as fed. So this is an example of alliteration. So this word flower-fed refers to the buffaloes. So what kind of animal is buffalo? We consider buffaloes as what kind of animal? They are gentle and peaceful animals. So, the flower-fed buffaloes are the buffaloes who are dependent on the flower, who eat the flower. The flower means the grass. So, in line number one talks about the buffaloes peacefully grazing in the grassland in spring season. As human makes us feel that it is our duty, our obligations to protect them. Now let's go to second line. The second line says, in the days of old and long ago. Long ago means in the past. So the poet is talking about the buffaloes enjoying their food in the past in the spring season. So these two lines portray the freedom of the buffaloes once they had. Now let's see the second. So here locomotive means a railway engine. Wrens, the meaning of wrens means to move freely over a large area. So in the grassland, railway tracks are laid. The trains move freely. The locomotives are not pleasant sounding. It's a way of the sound pollution. prairie means a large flat area of land covered by grass. Means it's a grassland. The prairie flowers lie low. Lie low, the meaning of lie low is to die, or it means it's gone. Everything is over. So before there was the beautiful grassland covered with blooming flowers. But in the place of such beautiful grassland, the railway tracks are laid now. The locomotives replace all the green grassland. This indicates the destruction of the nature for the sake of modernization. Development of railway track is a sign of development of transportation. So the human beings are degrading the nature for the fulfillment of their needs and wants in the name of modernization or industrialization, which affect the nature. The tossing, blooming, and perfumed grass also resembles the freedom. The grass is tossing. Tossing means it's moving. The grass is blooming. Blooming means bearing the colorful flowers. And the grass is perfumed too. When the flowers bloom, the whole surrounding smells. The flower spreads the sweet smell everywhere. So in the past, everything had freedom. So till these lines, we can see or we can feel the joy once the living creatures in the past saw or felt. So now the poem is going to take a turning point. Is swept away by wheat. There, what is swept away? The tossing, blooming, and perfumed grass is swept away, and it is swept away by the wheat. The grass is the natural food of animals, and the grass is replaced by wheat. Wheat is the food of human beings. So this shows the selfish nature of the human beings. To satisfy their hunger, or we can say like to fulfill their stomach, to fill their stomach, human beings cultivate the wheat, their food. So when the people cultivate their food, there won't be the place for the food for animals. When there is no food for the animals, can the animals survive? Obviously not. So the selfish human beings, they are killing the animals indirectly by creating the scarcity in the food of animals. Now next, the season is still the same, that is the spring season. Before in spring, the flower-fed buffaloes used to roam around freely in the prairie. The buffaloes had the freedom. But now there is change in the nature. Wheels and wheels and wheels of the locomotives sing in the places of buffaloes' song. The freely running feet of the buffaloes are taken over by the wheels of train. This also represents the loss of nature, the loss of natural things by the artificial things. The flower-fed buffaloes left us long ago, shows the disappearance of the buffaloes. All the buffaloes are killed by human beings. Initially, the food of buffaloes was seized by the humans. When there is no food, there is no life. Because of the scarcity of the food, the buffaloes, they died. And the next reason is that the humans started taking the buffaloes as the gift of heaven. And they started hunting the buffaloes for their food. So before, the buffaloes used to gore. The meaning of gore means to hurt or wound another animal or person with hands. The buffaloes used to play with each other. They used to hurt each other. This shows their happiness and the bond with natural environment. They bellow no more. The bellow means to make loud, angry sound. So the buffaloes used to sing, they used to shout. They were in the close contact of nature. So in the past, such pleasant activities of buffaloes could be seen in the prairie. But now, they gore no more, they bellow no more. The shout and the fight of the buffaloes are gone along with the buffaloes. So this shows a kind of dissociation of the natural things from the nature. So here we again encounter with the new terms. They are the Blackfeet and the Pawnee. The Blackfeet and the Pawnees are the two different tribes of American continent who lie low. The meaning of lie low is to die or to disappear. So the tribe means the socially, ethnically, or politically associated group of people. Simply, the tribe means the group of the people. So along with the buffaloes, these two tribes were also vanished. The poem seems very simple, but actually it's very complicated. If you read the poem once, it might seem like you understand it, but in reality, it's complex. The poem laments the destruction of the nature for man's unlimited wants and needs. Humans are constantly ravaging what we hold dearest to us, and the worst victim is the nature. The poet wants to conserve the nature. Now, the poet also makes us feel the guilty and sorrowful for disappearance of the buffaloes and the destruction of peaceful and gentle nature. Now I am showing you the two different pictures. The two different pictures depict the two different times. The first picture talks about the tranquility and peace of olden days. The second picture shows the disruption of peace where the people shows anger and distress. Picture number 1 shows the greenery, the happily roaming buffaloes, whereas picture number 2 shows the dryness, the worstly victimized nature. Before, there was the running feet of the buffaloes. Now, there is the wheels of locomotives. So, in this way, the poet feels nostalgic for the past and he hopes for the future. So, here we have come to the end of the poem. I hope you have understood the poem. Now, here are some questions. You need to answer the questions very carefully. While doing the question answer, please do copy the questions. Show the best handwriting with the proper presentation also.